I am delighted today to announce the findings of the Future Reserves 2020 study. You'll be aware that in October 2010 I was appointed by the Prime Minister to lead an independent 6-month study into the roles and structures of the Reserve Forces. I've been supported in this task by General Sir Graham Lamb and Julian Brazier MP, both of whom have brought their considerable experience and expertise to the task. During our work, we've explored many different options, looked at the viability of different reservist roles, and focused on emerging security threats. We've also conducted a thorough investigation into how our principal allies use their reserve forces and what lessons might usefully apply to the United Kingdom, especially the varying degree to which they balance their force mix. In moving reserves forward, we also realise a wider objective for defence and achieve an integrated whole force which maximises the utility and skills of its people. The Prime Minister made it clear to us that our study should not be constrained by financial considerations, but should be mindful of identifying an efficient and cost-effective balance of regular and reserve manpower that will ensure defence is prepared for the challenges of the future. Contained within this has been our commitment to the reserve proposition and the need to ensure that the future reservist experience is both valuable for the reservist, for defence and for his or her employer. The regular force remains committed to operations in Afghanistan, where reservists continue to be integral to the United Kingdom's effort. They have, alongside their regular counterparts, demonstrated their professionalism, dedication and courage in the most testing of circumstances, and their enduring contribution has been vital to achieving success. Reservists bring with them a huge range of skills, experience and capabilities which defence must ensure are correctly integrated, structured and used cost effectively. The review has found that the current condition of reserve forces as an institution is in decline, especially in terms of manning, training and command opportunities. This decline cannot be attributed to a single cause. It is the result of defence policies that have necessarily had to balance scarce resources and operational commitments over the last decade. Our immediate recommendations propose the introduction of a package of improvements to prevent further decline in the reserves, particularly as the regular armed forces undergo an unprecedented period of change. Key to our work has been the requirement to analyse and recommend the attribution of reservists to new, relevant and up-to-date roles. Indeed, fundamental to the reservist proposition is a reservist's sense of purpose, which we firmly believe to be linked to the relevance of his role, a view most likely to be shared by his or her employer. As a result of our work, what we perceive to be the United Kingdom's future security challenges and the need to improve an individual reservist's sense of purpose, we have recommended that reservists are employed in a far wider range of operational tasks overseas and also in support of United Kingdom resilience and homeland security. Most of our recommendations are not contentious and are being implemented to some extent already. Others, however, will require significant resources to be committed, deeper cultural changes to be brought about, and potentially new legislation put in place so that we can deliver a responsive and adaptable whole force, at the same time protecting reservists and employers. In terms of implementation, we have recommended a 3-stage approach. The first 2 stages focus on betterment and rejuvenating the reserves, especially the Territorial Army, but at the same time investigating new roles, refining legislation and improving support to the civilian employers of reservists. I envisage that the next scheduled defence review in 2015 will provide a logical waypoint at which we can determine the extent of further integration of reserves into the whole force structure. We realise that the Prime Minister, the Government and the Minister of Defence will now require time to digest our recommendations before making their formal response. and I appreciate that you too will want to know what this means to you personally. I commend to you our report, which you can download from the Defence website, and a detailed implementation plan will be communicated in the autumn. We firmly believe that this report represents good news for the reserves, for Defence and society more widely. We believe we are now presented with a generational opportunity to change our reserve forces model for the better, to ensure that the systemic decline of our reserves is reversed and that Defence is put in a better place to meet the security challenges of the future.